You are Locked On Clippers POSTCAST, part of Locked On Sports Los Angeles on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
All right. Welcome back. Third time's a charm. That was kind of a disaster there. I apologize, but thank you, BC, for giving me the heads up that my mic was not working, and I don't know what was happening there. I really do apologize. It got muted somehow, and it's not something that I did or not something that I've ever done before. So that was super weird and bizarre. So I'm glad we caught it only about 7 minutes in, as opposed to all the way at the end, which has happened one other time. We were doing a crossover show, and I just brain farted and forgot to start the stream. So we got all the way through like 25 minutes of the 30, and he was like, "It's weird, the timer's not running." I was like, "Oh!" So we stopped and started all over again, which we're doing here tonight. So hopefully you're hanging in there and have rejoined us here on the Locked On Clippers POSTCAST on the Locked On Sports LA YouTube channel, the place to hang out when every game is done. I am Pete Fox, host of the Clippers POSTCAST, covering sports in LA dating back to 2007 for ESPN LA and NBC Sports Radio. Clippers fall in this one, trying to win the back-to-backer in Dallas against the Mavericks, 113-97, the final. Honestly, the main things that went into this loss for the Clippers, for me, were their lack of ability to shoot the three. The turnovers were an issue, but there is a little good news with regard to that. And they just couldn't find any rhythm, any sustainable rhythm, to be sure, throughout the entirety of this game. At the end of the first quarter, it was close. They really struggled shooting the ball right out of the gate from beyond the arc. The only good thing about the first quarter was Ivica Zubac had a nice start. He was doing a little bit of everything. 5 rebounds, 2 points. He had an assist, a block, and a steal. Norm started okay, 3 for 3 from the floor, which included a 3. He had 7 points. And on the other side of things, Kyrie, who was out a couple of days ago, along with Luka Doncic in that big win for the Clippers over the Mavs a couple of nights ago, Kyrie got off to a really cold start. 1 of 9, 23-22 Mavs at the end of one. So that was a pretty good feeling. Like, hey, we're okay. We're hanging in there. It's not a disaster, considering that nobody is really scoring. I need to tell you real quick that tonight's episode of the Locked On Clippers POSTCAST is brought to you by FanDuel. You can get the season started with a big return on FanDuel. New customers can place a $5 bet, and you'll get started with a $150 bonus in bonus bets if you win that first $5 bet. So no pressure there. Visit FanDuel.com to get started. Well, as I said, they won a couple of nights ago in Dallas, and everyone was feeling good about that. But with Doncic out and with Kyrie out, how good a win is that? I mean, it's a nice win. They dominated them. They had 14 turnovers, which is nice, very clean. They had 11 in the first half tonight, and that's just not getting it done. That's not good enough, especially when your point guard, James Harden, has 5 of them. That's just, I don't know if unacceptable is too strong of a word. It's not unacceptable because Harden provides in other ways, but you would hope that they could just clean that up. It's just got to be better. I know I harp on it all the time, and it's an issue for them. They do find ways to win in spite of Harden turning the ball over so much. But to have 14 a couple of nights ago in Dallas and that win was nice. Their bench dominated 33-16 over the Mavs. And they got a big bonus from the Mavericks' inability to shoot the three. 23%, 7 of 30 in that one for the Mavs. As for tonight, the Clippers really just struggled shooting the ball in general. When it was all said and done, they shot 42% from the floor and 27% from beyond the arc. A lot of those threes were going in the fourth quarter when they were trying to rally to get back in this one. They kept it around a 9-point deficit for a good portion of the night. And you look at the other side of the coin, Dallas wasn't lights out, 45% from the floor and 40% from beyond the arc, which is solid. When you compare it to 27% for the Clippers, yeah, that's not going to get it done. And when you look at the fact that the Clippers percentage-wise, best three-point shooter on the night was Chris Dunn. He was 3 of 6. All 9 of his points came from beyond the arc, and they came late in the game when they needed them. Clutch minutes, trying to get back into this game, and there were plenty of opportunities. If they could have made more threes and gotten a few stops, completely different ball game. Of course, you can't help but think, what would it be like if Kawhi was out there? Yeah, I know. We all thought it. Carlos said it. I listened to a good portion of the game on the radio. He brought it up. And look, most Clipper fans do, I have to assume, right? You can't help but think, how would this game have turned out if Kawhi Leonard was playing? Norm Powell just didn't have a great night. He led the way, 28 points, 8 of 22 for 28, 9 of 10 from the line, but 3 of 11 from beyond the arc. That's surprising for Norm Powell. And James Harden, 2 of 9. He was 6 of 18 from the floor. Perfect at the line, just 19 points. And a really, really solid night for Kevin Porter off the bench. 27 minutes, 8 of 12, 2 threes for 19 points. So the three-point shooting was really the issue. They just couldn't find the rhythm when they needed it late in the game. There was lazy defense. And again, Carlo brought this up, and he said every single time the Clippers made a big three and started to try to rally, the Dallas Mavericks would answer. I don't know if it was every time, but it sure felt like it was, because he was absolutely right there, hitting the nail on the head, that the Clippers, every time they got momentum, but the one difference being that usually what the Clippers do is they'll go on a run and then they'll give up a run. Tonight it was more concise. They would hit a big three, make a big bucket, and then turn right around and give it up to the Mavs on the other end of things. Zubac's a solid game. As I said, he started off pretty good, doing a little bit of everything, and then had a nice little stretch in the third, which is something that we see from Zubac fairly frequently. And I think it's interesting that he just goes on these spurts where it'll be like 3 to 5 minutes where he's just doing everything, rebounding, scoring. He had a rebound and a sweet putback in the third, and then he did it again on the very next possession, and he had the and one there. It was a 9-point run for him, so that was nice to see. Chris Dunn hit a three-pointer at the 4:25 mark of the third. That made it 65-59. The Clippers were hanging around all night, just hanging around, kind of counterpunching, doing, I don't want to say the bare minimum. It was more than that. They were doing just enough to stay in this. They just couldn't figure out a way to stop Dallas and go on a real run without Dallas turning right around and giving it right back to them. And I think that's what this boiled down to. So that's a big reason they lost. And I think that they they just couldn't find any rhythm. Yes, BC, I fixed the sound. Thanks to you, producer BC. Nice job. Yes, BC, Lakers with a win tonight as well. So you have to be feeling good. I'm feeling better now that I've got the microphone working. I am out of the house. We are on a little Christmas vacation in the Aloha State. So it's nice and dark here. It's only 6 o'clock for me, though, at this point in time. But it was fun to get into that Clipper basketball game and follow along. Hoping that they would win, thinking it would be nice to sweep Dallas in back-to-back in Dallas, but it just wasn't to be. I feel like a big characteristic of this Clippers team is they beat the teams they should beat. And 2 nights ago, look, Dallas is a good team. It's a nice win, but it's a win without Kyrie and it's a win without Luka Doncic. A game the Clippers should have won big like they did. So you look at it and say, all right, great, good for them. Now let's beat them when Kyrie's playing. They couldn't do it. And I don't know if did they seem tired to you? I didn't think they seemed tired. They were a little bit lazy, as I said, closing. I can't remember if I said that on this show or the one when my mic wasn't working, but they were lazy closing out at the perimeter. We'll get into that a little bit after the break, because we have to talk about the night that Quentin Grimes had. That guy's a heck of a good player. 19 minutes, 4 of 5, 13 points. He did it in a small little, I'm sorry, not 13, 20. Daniel Gifford, sorry, he was 4 of 5 in 19 minutes. Grimes off the bench, 24 minutes, 7 of 8, 20 points. But he did it in spurts and got hot, just like Zoo did, right in a nice little 3 or 4 minute spurt, which really helped the Mavericks out in this one. 113-97 the final. Clippers now 16-12, 6-6 on the road, while the Mavericks improved to 17-10, 8-4 at home. I'm Pete Fox. It's the Locked On Clippers podcast on the Locked On Sports LA YouTube channel, the place to hang out when every game is done. When we come back, we'll get into Quentin Grimes night, and we will talk the bucket list, top 5 or so buckets of the night, in my opinion. Tonight's episode of the Locked On Clippers postcast is brought to you by Prize Picks. Oh, we love Prize Picks, especially this time of year. Football, basketball, hockey. There is lots going on and lots of things to pick from on Prize Picks that, really make your life more fun when it comes to watching sports. As far as I'm concerned, it just flat out makes it more interesting. You know what else is better this time of year? When you are putting action on bowl games. This new 12-team playoff thing is really interesting. And the only thing that makes it better is that you got Prize Picks and you can get involved there and, make it more interesting. Join now this holiday season. Prize Picks is giving you 2 free picks in December, and they're giving away $30+ million in rewards during Pixmas. Sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive that $50 bonus. It is guaranteed. Prize Picks also offers weekly promotions that can lead to big payouts like Taco Tuesday. Each Tuesday, Prize Picks discounts select player projections up to 25% to provide even more value. Prize Picks is the best way to win real money this basketball season. Which players are going off, which ones aren't. Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your sports opinions into real money all season long on Prize Picks. And the other thing that's great about Prize Picks is you can use their Venmo to make deposits and withdrawals. My initial deposit was super easy and hassle-free, and having Venmo be a part of it makes everything very secure and helps you get your payouts in about 15 minutes if, of course, you win. So download the app and use the code LOCKEDONNBA to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Download the app. Use the code LOCKEDONNBA. After your first $5 lineup, you'll get a $50 bonus instantly. PrizePicks.com. Download the app. Prize Picks. Run your game. Today's episode is also brought to you by Rocket RX. If you're ready to boost your confidence and take control in the bedroom, Rocket RX has the solution. Imagine feeling more prepared, performing at your best. Rocket RX makes it simple and stress-free. Rocket RX offers FDA-approved treatments for erectile dysfunction at a lower cost than branded alternatives. No more uncomfortable doctor visits or pharmacy trips. Everything is delivered straight to your door in discreet, plain packaging. With Rocket RX, you'll get trusted care from real clinical U.S. teams. Complete a quick 100% online survey, and you could get your free prescription today. Visit rocketrx.com to get started now. It's only about a 2-minute time donation or a time contribution to get involved in this. Right now, our listeners can get 40% off your first order with the code LOCKEDONNBA. That's rocketrx.com. The code LOCKEDONNBA for 40% off your first order. Terms and conditions apply. Rocket RX, better sex made simple. All right, Clippers lose this one in Dallas, dropping the back end of the back-to-back in Dallas, or the baseball series, as everyone was calling it, which was just annoying me a little bit. I'm like, really? It's not baseball series. Just because they're playing back-to-back in the same city against the same team. Baseball does that very rarely. I get the comparison, but the fact that everybody was calling it that over and over, it just got to be really, really annoying. Clippers lose this one 113-109. I'm sorry, 113.97. Quentin Grimes, we said we're going to talk about him a little bit. 24 minutes, 7 of 8, 3 of 4 from beyond the arc, perfect at the line, 3 of 3. 7 rebounds for 20 points, but there was a stretch during the fourth quarter, early in the fourth quarter, about the 9-minute mark. The Clippers weren't closing out at the perimeter. Grimes hit 2 threes and then got fouled at the perimeter, made all 3 of those. So he went on a 9-point run all by himself as well. Chris Dunn had 3 threes, 3 of 6 shooting from beyond the arc. That was in the midway through the fourth quarter, which was nice to see. Kevin Porter and Norm Powell hit some threes back-to-back right around the 6-minute mark. And they just weren't getting any stops. They couldn't find that sustained momentum and sustained rhythm. Norm Powell hit another 3 at the 5:12 mark. That was 9 points in a row. It forced a timeout for Dallas. But then Dallas turned right around and went on a little run right after. The Norm all by himself run at that point was 8-0. So they had, again, not a lot of continuity or rhythm amongst the team. Like Zoo went on a 9-0 run, Norm went on an 8-0 run, and then they just got lazy kind of in the fourth quarter. They would get it to 9, down 8 in that neighborhood, and then Dallas would turn right around and go on a run of their own and, widen the lead. And it was kind of a frustrating game to watch because you're thinking if they could just figure out a way to make some stops or go on a little run of their own and then sustain that rhythm, that they would have a good chance at winning this game. They fouled Dinwiddie at the 3-point line. That wasn't helpful in the fourth quarter, and they just never got on a nice little roll. Let's get to tonight's bucket list for number 5. James Harden hit a 3 from the corner. It was the Clips' first lead of the game, 2018 at the 139 mark of the first quarter. But, of course, what did the Mavs do? They responded with a 5-0 run of their own. Shortly thereafter, Harden's next points passed Tim Duncan on the all-time scoring list. So Harden continues to climb up that list. So congratulations to him tonight, passing Tim Duncan on the all-time list. For number 4, Kevin Porter Jr. Started 3 of 3 with a 3 at the 1-minute mark of the second, so the early part of the second quarter. That tied the game at 25. And then, of course, the Mavs responded with a 7-0 run, forcing a Ty Lue timeout. It really felt like it was every time they did something good, the Mavs would punch them right back in the mouth. For number 3, Chris Dunn had a 3 at the 9:30 mark of the third. It made it a 9-point game. Dallas responded with a 3. So it was like 3. Here you go. Here's another 3 right back at you. For number 2, Zoo had a really nice dunk at the 6:53 mark of the third on a 7-0 run. 61-54 at that point. And for number 1, James Harden had a 3 at the 29-second mark at the end of the third to make it 74-66 Dallas. I felt like that was pretty much the end of them being close there. Another thing that was really interesting tonight and kind of frustrating is it just felt like Zubats was getting hammered. I mean, this was a very physical game, and you could tell that the Mavericks came to play and they weren't going to get pushed around like they did a couple of nights ago. Very, very physical, and Zubats handled it well, but did it feel to you a little bit like he didn't get the calls that he deserved? There were some times where you're like, that wasn't right. That didn't seem like the right call. They had a couple of texts that went back and forth. But as far as Zubats just getting beaten up, and I don't know if that is, because he's not a star and he doesn't push back. And we've talked a lot here about the physicalness of Zubats, and it's definitely improved. He's not the most physical center, but he's definitely getting better. I feel like if he, bodied some, anytime the opposition is really physical and bodying up Zoo, he struggles. I thought that was happening tonight, but he had a pretty decent night. 34 minutes, 6 of 10, 1 of 2 from the line, a lot of rebounds. He was working hard on the boards, 15 rebounds. He had 3 assists, which is nice to see from the big man. 1 steal, 1 block. Those came in the first, couple of turnovers, and 13 points. But anytime people get physical with Zoo, it's not the best situation for him. And I don't know if there's an answer. I don't know if there are better things to come from him. Like, will he continue to improve in that department and become a more physical big man down low? I don't know. I feel like he's definitely getting better, more activity, more athletic at the basket, going the sky hook with both hands. He's definitely scoring the ball, and that's not ever really been a problem. He just continues to improve and has more arsenal, more bullets in his gun, if you will, to score down low. So spin move, the dunk. He does get physical at times, but he doesn't maintain the physicalness. It's in short spurts. So hopefully that can improve and he can become a more physical center for the Clippers, because they definitely need that. The points in the paint tonight, we're going to talk about those numbers right after the break. They were good. It wasn't great, but it was good for the Clippers. It's the Locked On Clippers postcast on the Locked On Sports LA YouTube channel, the place to hang out when every game is done. Clippers fall tonight in Dallas. Could not go back-to-back at the United Center, or what is it, American Airlines Arena. United Center's Chicago. This is another airline, American Airlines. 113-97, the final. After the break, we'll get into some of those points in the paint statistics here on the Locked On Clippers postcast. The place to hang out when every game is done. We appreciate you allowing us to be your source for your team every day. Tonight's episode of the Clippers postcast is also brought to you by FanDuel. Get ready to tackle the NFL action with FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if you win. The FanDuel Sportsbook app gives you everything you need to place live bets on the NFL all in one place. So when you get a hunch in the middle of the game, you can check out the latest stats, view live play-by-play, and so much more on the same page where you place your bets. Visit FanDuel.com to join today. You'll get started with $150 in bonus bets if you win that first $5 bet. That's FanDuel.com. Never waste a hunch and make every moment more on FanDuel.com. All right, 113-97, the final. Clippers now 16-12, 6-6 on the road. The Mavericks were led by Quentin Grimes off the bench, 24 minutes, 7 of 8, 20 points, going 3 of 4 from beyond the arc. PJ Washington, all 5 starters in double figures. PJ Washington had a good game, 10 points, 2 threes. Derek Lively, 11 points. He was 5 of 6. Kyrie Irving kind of got it going a little bit, but not beyond the arc. He was 2 of 9, finished with 15, going 6 of 25. As I said, he started 1 of 9. That was terrible. Spencer Dinwiddie, 29 minutes, 4 of 13, only 1 3 on 6 attempts. He finished with 15. And Klay Thompson, a solid night, 6 of 9, 4 of 6 for 16 points. I remember when I worked with his dad, Michael Thompson, anytime anybody would bring up the night that Klay had, he would always want to know, okay, how many points did he have? How many shots did he take? He would always, bring that up, because it's not always about how many shots you make. It's how many shots you take. What's the percentage? So I think, although it wasn't a big night for Klay, I think Michael Thompson would probably be appreciative of a 6 of 9 night for Klay, helping the Mavericks win this game. They're 17-10 now. Good team. Going in the right direction, and obviously it's nice for them to get a win without Luka on the floor. The Clippers won a couple of nights ago with both Luka and Kyrie out, and that was helpful. Derek Jones played well tonight, not great, only played 17 minutes, 2 of 6, 0 from beyond the arc, but again, he wasn't the only one. Everyone was just bad from beyond the arc. He had 4 points. Harden, 2 of 9, had 8 rebounds, 7 turnovers, 5 of which came in the first half. So again, it was good that he cleaned it up. He finished with 19 points. Norm Powell, 8 of 22, played 42 minutes. You have to give him a little bit of credit for pushing this one right to the very end. They never waved the white flag. They never phoned it in. They kept battling. They just couldn't really find any sustained rhythm. That was the message of this game. There was no rhythm, and they couldn't get stops. The 3-point shooting was pretty bad. It got a little bit better to kind of take the stink out of it at the end of the game in the fourth quarter to get them up to 27%. 10 of 37, but just not enough to get it done. Harden was 3 of 11 from beyond the arc. He led the way Norm Powell was 3 of 11, 9 of 10 from the free throw line, 5 rebounds, only 1 turnover. He had 28 points, and Chris Dunn played 33 minutes, going 3 of 7, 3 of 6 from beyond the arc, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, 9 points. He is a defensive prowess for the Clippers for sure. Nick Batum played 15 minutes, had 3 points. Kai Jones, just 1 minute, scoreless. Mo Bamba, 10 minutes, struggled, 1 of 5, 0 for 2 from beyond the arc, finished with 2 points. Amir Coffey was scoreless. Can't remember the last time I saw Amir Coffey going scoreless. In 21 minutes, he only took 1 shot and missed it. That is unheard of. How bizarre is that? That's another thing that we haven't seen and was a big part of why they didn't win this game, or at least have a better shot at winning. For Amir Coffey to be that uninvolved is just remarkably strange. I mean, bizarre to say the least. 21 minutes, 0 for 1, had 1 rebound and 1 assist. Wow, crazy. But Kevin Porter Jr., a nice night off the bench, 27 minutes, 8 of 12, 2 threes. He had 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 4 turnovers for 19 points. And this 113-97 loss for the Clippers, who are now, again, 16-12, 6-6 on the road, while Dallas improves to 17-10, 8-4. Off tomorrow being Sunday. They are back to work on Monday against the Memphis Grizz. I'm going to do my best to be here to break that one down for you as well on the Locked On Sports LA YouTube channel. We appreciate you joining us here, and we appreciate you hanging with us, or I do, after my mic wasn't working and I was sitting here and you're like, I don't know what you're saying, and I'm not going to spend any more time here trying to read your lips, especially in a loss. So for those of you that came back, which it appears to be BC, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for doing that. Have a good night. We will talk again on Monday. Thanks for watching. Take care.